they don't respect us. Some of my friends say, I just realized most bully here now is Russian. Even most of the F and B ads in Canggu are all in Russian or owned by Russians. Once I saw Bali and Dubai advertising on Insta ad by a Russian guy too. OMG, is this penjajahan? Bali has been popular with tourists since the late 1980. The culture of this island is majority Hindu and many tourists come to seek the adventure, healing, and relaxation. Bali is one of the only Hindu island in Indonesia and is known for its warm, accepting culture. This could be why so many tourists stick to Bali. Back to Bali right now, there's a huge population of Russians that are coming to Bali last year. It is reported that 58,000 and 7,000 Russians and Ukrainians have come into the Bali, escaping the war. That's kind of crazy. But now what's going on with that and why is that happening? What does that mean for the Balinese? Well, some of my friends say it's very clear that they are coming because of the war. The other aspect that's happening is that in the influx, the Russians are disrespecting the Balinese culture, meaning that the motorcycle accident, meaning disrespecting holy temples and holy grounds and tradition and customs are being completely neglected, pushed to the side, and making the Balinese feel some type of way, give them mad colonizer vibes. And so I have a chance to talk to the Balinese, and some of the Balinese are saying like, look, during the pandemic, we needed money, and with the influx of the Russians, it actually helps the economy. But on the other side, that we don't enjoy being disrespected, we don't enjoy being pushed to the side, and we don't enjoy the cold attitude of them looking past us and having a little bit of apathy attitude toward us. Okay, I got that. So they are in a little bit of a catch. But it's really interesting because I was born in Bali and I have never seen so many Russian, and it's just a different dynamic out of here. Let's see what people in internet, in TikTok think about this. Wait, I think I got something. Let's check it out. Okay, let's check this one.
Selama Perang Rusia dan Ukraina kurun waktu 1 tahun terakhir, pihak imigrasi Bali mencatat jumlah warga Rusia yang datang dan liburan ke Bali hingga periode Januari-Maret 2023 mencapai 43.622 orang. Sementara itu, sepanjang 2022 mencapai 59.854 orang. Data Imigrasi Ngurah Rai, jumlah kedatangan warga negara Rusia melalui pos imigrasi di Bandara Internasional I Gusti Ngurah Rai, Bali, pada Januari 2023 sampai dengan Maret 2023 sebanyak 43.622 orang. Sementara itu, pada 2022 jumlah kedatangan warga negara Rusia ke Bali mencapai 59.854 orang. Hal tersebut disampaikan Kepala Bidang Teknologi Informasi dan Komunikasi Kantor Imigrasi Ngurah Rai, Sandro Bobi Raymond Limbong, dalam keterangan persnya, dikutip dari laman Antara, Jumat, 10 Maret 2023.
Many Russians are breaking the rules by overstaying, working while on a tourist visa, even making their own license plates. I hope that more steps will be taken to improve the quality of tourism in Bali so more international visitors will come, said Cindy Merita, who grew up on the island and now works as a radio announcer and master of ceremonies in Bali's capital Denpasar. Local says many Russians are not as friendly as Australians, and Perhaps because they can no longer legally earn, they are loosey tippers. These are not deportable offenses, but they have made for unhappy house, particularly in Canggu, in Bali's southwest, which has become known as the Russian village. That's really crazy, right? Will the Balinese people just silently accept this treatment? Let's find out. Well, on March 40, Bali government Iwayan Koster asked the central government to stop Russian and Ukrainians from receiving visas on arrival. He also plans to ban foreigners from renting motorbikes. Currently, the Indonesian central government seems disinclined to agree, but these moves reflect the growing frustration felt by Bali's locals. But amid the tension, Niloh Jalantik, an internationally renowned shoe designer who started a tip line for illegally operated business, has emerged as a key figure. Although a stickler for the rules, she has also worked to shoot the tension where possible, even arranging for the infamous Mooning Russians to publicly apologize and participate in a cleansing ceremony. When it comes to jobs, he wants to pair enforcement with reform. Foreigners should secure proper permission to work and pay taxes, but the government should also clarify the rules for remote workers, she told Foreign Policy. The provincial government is taking a blunter approach. Noise is being made about a crackdown on people working without a visa, especially in sensitive jobs. Meanwhile, there are plans to offer a second home visa to those who can show a bank account with a balance equivalent to 2 billion Indonesian rupiah, about $140,000. I don't want people to be arrested for opening laptops in coffee shop, Niloh Jalantik said. However, she argues, if Indonesians must have complete documents when working abroad, shouldn't the same apply to foreigners working in Indonesia? I don't blame Bali for making new laws. The amount of disrespect is off the walls, said one of the tourists in Bali. Bye-bye!